Hello everyone, welcome back finally to another car rant, and we have a special surprise today. Lighting! Alright, so welcome back everyone, back to my studio. As you can tell, I finally have some decent lighting so you can see more than half of my face, which I guess is probably a good thing. But some other additions, I mean, we haven't done a car rant in a very long time. I honestly can't remember the last time I did one. But you can see my background is improved. We have the Lego Lamborghini Cyan in the background. Make sure to go check out those videos of me building it. And just real quick, hold on. It is an actual thing, by the way. Lamborghini would prefer you to have the doors up on your car during pictures. Like they actually prefer you to have the doors up whenever you take a picture of your car. Just random fact that I knew for some reason. You may remember back when my channel first started, I had my first video which came out, which was a car rant. That was about the classes of cars. And then my second video I made was an electric car video. It's talking about electric cars. I did a whole rant about it. Now that was over a year ago, which is pretty crazy. Can't believe I've had this channel for over a year. And by the way, almost at 50 subscribers, which is pretty cool. If you subscribe, you could be my 50th subscriber. On the road to 1 million, we'll be there within a year, and then I'll buy a Koenigsegg Gemera. Moving on. Now, the actual subject of this car rant will be electric cars. Like I said, my second rant ever, we talked about electric cars and why I thought they were kind of neat, but I ultimately preferred gasoline cars. Since I made that video, two key all-electric vehicles have come out, which have actually started to change my mind about electric cars. So let's get right into it. Now, the first car that came out actually quite a while ago and has been teased and pretty hyped up is the GMC Hummer. Okay, now a lot of you probably know of this car. It was in last year's Super Bowl commercial, and then it was in this year's Super Bowl commercial for GM, and I love it. I've kind of been a Hummer fan. I think they're neat. I think they're really just unnecessary, and they're kind of cool. I always thought Hummer was kind of neat, not something I would ever buy, but you know, a Hummer's kind of cool. I'm not one of those people that hated it, you know, when it first came out, because you love it or you hate it, you know, and I thought it was pretty cool. But, you know, since GM canceled Hummer, it's just been kind of in the background until they brought back the Hummer name, sort of. They didn't really bring back the Hummer brand, but they're using the Hummer name. Now, thank you so much, GM, for using the Hummer name to make an electric truck rather than Ford making the Mustang electric crossover, which is... Hummer is a truck, and they made a truck out of it, and I'm happy. I already love GMC. You know, we have an Envoy. Be sure to go check out that video, which is doing very well. I didn't think that many people would be interested in a GMC Envoy, but it's a great truck. First off, just look at it. Okay, this, to me, is the first non-supercar, all-electric vehicle that looks really cool. I'm not a pickup truck person, but this truck is really cool. This is by far my favorite truck ever, and that's probably just by styling, but there's so much other cool stuff to it. I mean, it kind of looks like your Baja Dune trucks with the high arches and everything. It still looks like a Hummer with the special grille they put in it, and it's... I absolutely love how it looks. It looks like a Hummer, but it also looks like a futuristic, updated, you know, truck, and I love how it looks. It also makes 1,000 horsepower. I mean, it's a Hummer made in 2021 that makes 1,000 horsepower, and it's a truck you can buy and drive around. I mean, that's like when you buy a Hummer in Forza and you put a V12 and it makes 1,000 horsepower just so you can crash into other people. It's a real thing. I mean, I guess it's easy to do with electric power as opposed to putting 1,000 horsepower, you know, like V8 or something in it. But I mean, it's still a pickup truck you can buy that makes 1,000 horsepower and goes 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. You know, before this truck, what are the electric cars you can buy? Teslas. I mean, what else are you going to buy besides a Tesla? BMW has, you know, the i3, which is horrible. It's so ugly. But I mean, what other electric car can you buy from a mainstream brand? I mean, now we have the Mach-E, which... There's no really electric cars you can buy that aren't a Tesla. And Teslas are cool and everything, and you know, they're great cars and they're very fast. I just don't want to be in the Tesla group of people, if you know what I mean. It's like a Mustang. Mustangs are cool. I love the GT350. but then you're associated with Mustang people. It's like if you buy a Tesla, then you're associated with the Tesla fanboys. And to be honest, yeah, the Model S looks kind of cool, but the Model 3, the Model X, the Model Y, they're all pretty ugly. And it's all for efficiency's sake. You know, that's how they get the high mileage that they do out of electric charge because of the aerodynamics and everything. But what GMC did with the Hummer is they made it look like a Hummer. I mean, this thing's a brick. It is right angles all over the place, and it looks so cool. And they still get 300 miles out of this thing. I am just so impressed. It's 1,000 horsepower. It's a giant truck. It's probably gonna be so heavy. It has like, it is not aerodynamic looking, and it gets 300 miles out of a charge. Now that's not EP rated, that's GM saying, and it'll probably be a little less, but that's still a really impressive number to get out of 1,000 horsepower, all electric truck. So cool. But they didn't just stop with 1,000 horsepower and make it, you know, a road car like the Mach-E, you know, or all these crossovers coming out, where it has 4-wheel drive, but you're not gonna take it off-road. Whereas the Hummer, it stays true to the Hummer name and actually has incredible off-road stuff. You know, Doug DeMuro did a video on it, and definitely go check it out because it's so cool. You do this crazy stuff where it lifts the whole car up, you can max out the suspension, you can do 4-wheel steering and crab walk and stuff because it's all electric, and you have, and yeah, 4-wheel steering. I mean, you torque vectoring, so many off-road just goodies. You get a front trunk because there's no engine, which really blew me away. You can take the roof off. You have the crazy GMC folding tailgate. I mean, it's crazy. I bring this up because the GMC Hummer is the first electric car I would take over a gas-powered car. I think the technology is better. I think performance is better. The efficiency probably is better. I mean, there's not really any fuel-efficient trucks that I can think of, but it checks all the boxes. It's good at off-roading. It's good looking. It's fast. In my opinion, objectively, it beats every other pickup truck you can buy. And that's kind of why it changed my mind for electric cars. I'm like, wait, this is cool. Wait a minute. This is an electric car that doesn't look like an egg. It actually looks cool. It looks like a truck. It does truck things better than any other truck, and I would buy it over any other truck. Granted, it is $120,000. I don't have $120,000, and if I did, I wouldn't buy a pickup truck. I would buy a Corvette. Regardless, I love what GM did with this. They nailed it, and it is my favorite electric car to come out. Until Audi just released the new Audi RS e-tron GT. Here's a picture of it, and holy crap. Most of you know the electric Porsche Taycan, you know, the Panamera electric version, and what they've done with that. So Audi took that same platform and built their own car around it. So now Audi has a full electric car, and it's not a crossover. I am so happy to see a brand new mass production car that's not a crossover. It is a sedan, and oh my gosh, is it a good looking one. The only complaint I have about the styling of this car is the front. I like it, but in bright colors, like in the red, the full blacked out just looks kind of weird. I'm not sure about it. But if you get it in like a dark blue, they kind of paint the grille as well, and it gives it this weird kind of flip look, and it just looks really great. However, the side and the back look so good. I mean, the taillights on this car might be my favorite of all time. But yeah, this is a fully electric Audi sedan, and it is just, it's so good looking. I guess my main complaint with electric cars was the styling. Up until now, we have the GMC Hummer, which is just the best looking truck, and now we have the Audi RS e-tron GT, which might be the best looking sedan. I mean, right now I can't think of a better looking sedan. I mean, the Charger, you get a Hemi Charger or a Scat Pack Hellcat. Those are good looking, but this, it might be better looking. I don't know. But some pretty cool performance, you know, with the RS version, I think you get around 600 horsepower. With the non-RS version, I think you get around 500 horsepower. 0 to 60, I'm sure is going to be around 3 seconds. I think Audi, you know, is conservative with that. It might do under 3 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised, since it's based on the Porsche Taycan. I think that does 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. But it's an electric car. It's going to be really fast. It's all-wheel drive. But the styling, I really love. And if you watched my original electric car video, you know that I said, ultimately, electric cars, the technology is impressive, I like what you can do with it, but ultimately I'd rather have a gas-powered car. And I still hold true to that, despite these two cars coming out that I am very impressed with, styling-wise, technology-wise, innovation-wise, you know, very impressed. Though with the Audi, you actually get less mileage than the GMC. I think you get around 200 150 or so, which again, I don't think I've ever gone 250 miles in one go before. Once you get around 300 miles, I think the range is fine. But these two cars have really blown me away because they are, you know, mass-produced cars that outperform in nearly every category internal combustion cars. The technology is finally getting there in cars that aren't Teslas that can beat gas-powered cars. I think electric cars are now at the point where I might rather have these than a internal combustion car as a daily driver, specifically as a daily driver. As I mentioned in my first video, supercar wise, performance car wise, yes, electric cars are faster. There's no doubt. Electric cars are faster. But to me, the whole point of a performance car or a supercar or an exotic car or a hypercar, mega car is how it feels. It's how the experience of speed feels that makes you enjoy it, you know. And something I've always kind of had against Teslas is, yes, you can go 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds. But is that fun? That just feels like whiplash, you know? And an internal combustion car, like, you know, Corvette, Lamborghini, Koenigsegg even, you know, these crazy cars. Are you going faster? Maybe not. But are you having more fun? Yes. You know, like, it's all about the sensation of speed, and internal combustion cars contribute to that so much with the crazy sounds you get out of the engine. So as a daily driver, you know, sitting in traffic, electric cars probably will be more preferable. But if you're taking it to a racetrack or you're just showing off in front of people, which is really what people are going to do with supercars, it's not about how fast you're going, it's about, you know, how loud it is, it beats you up, you know, shifting manually, stuff like that, and it really contributes to the experience of the car, whereas electric cars are really just kind of appliances. Despite how fast you're going, it's not as fun. You know, it's all about the sensation of speed, and I think internal combustion cars really contribute to it. So anyway, to kind of wrap up this jumble of ideas that I've just been spitting out, I'm really impressed with the current electric cars we have gotten recently, specifically the Audi RS e-tron GT, one of the best looking, if not the best looking sedans, and the GMC Hummer, the best pickup truck without question. Internal combustion cars still, I think, are better in my opinion. As an enthusiast, I would rather have an internal combustion car, but as a daily driver for taking around town or cruising, you know, electric cars really, I think, are a little better. Specifically those two because of how they look. Styling is just so important to me. That's where you kind of get hybrids, right? Like the Regera behind me. Hybrids might be the best of both worlds, specifically what Koenigsegg is doing with the Gemera. Love that car, and I want one. But anyway, that's kind of just my jumble of ideas. Specifically, I wanted to talk about these two electric cars that have really blown me away recently. Quick afterthought, there is the Lucid Air came out. Also has a pretty cool sedan, sort of, you know, to rival Tesla. It's supposed to get like 600 miles of range or something crazy like that. The technology is crazy. It's gonna be really fast, you know, and I think it's pretty cool looking. Lucid is such a startup company. We hear so many good promises from all these places, and you don't know if they're actually gonna fulfill it. Kind of like Rivian with their pickup truck. Thank you for watching, everyone. That's kind of my just jumble of thoughts that I have been spitting out at you. Electric cars are cool. Still would rather have an internal combustion car like that Cyan back there. But as far as, you know, driving to school every day, making the commute, that Audi's looking pretty cool. So anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. Make sure to go check out my other videos. Consider subscribing, watch my Lamborghini build process, and I will see you all next week. Bye, guys.